Thank you, Karen. So as Karen was saying, the combination of push and pull with inbound and outbound is important to really activate your dual powered marketing. But that balance may not always be a 50-50 split. So you have to think about how does that apply to your business specifically, your industry specifically, and your marketing goals specifically. So I just wanted to take a moment to go through some pros and cons of inbound and outbound just to get our juices flowing as we start to think about what the balance of those two is with our own personal marketing strategies. So inbound is actually responsible for 90% of clicks on websites. And as you can see, what Moz is doing here in this image that we're showing, they're comparing inbound marketing with the idea of interruption marketing. So when you're interrupting basically someone, that is more tactics that tend to be associated with outbound-esque strategies. But the inbound marketing is just what Karen was saying, the blogging, the public speaking, the social media. You're earning attention organically. They are seeking you out. Maybe they're doing that web search for whatever product they're looking for, and they see a blog about that product that your website put out, or they have a question and your blog title has as an answer to that question. So that's how the inbound is drawing those people in. The pros of inbound is it's cheap. It's less expensive than outbound marketing because you can use a lot of it can be executed using the tools you already have. Social media, if you have a website at your company, your blog, word of mouth, or if you do a live event and you do like a free workshop or something like that. It also initiates two-way conversation, and that again tags on what Karen was saying. You want it to be a two-way conversation. You don't just want to talk at them. You want to talk with them. So if they interact with you and they have a dialogue about something that intrigues them, they'll participate and they'll become more engaged. You also notice that inbound is more sustainable, and that's long-term. So inbound takes longer to see results at the get-go, but the long-term yields are higher. It can grow exponentially, and it's a little more scalable than outbound. Outbound is scalable too, but with inbound, as your assets grow, you're attracting this recurring and constantly growing audience. So if I go back to that blog idea that I was talking about earlier, that's where, let's say I've been searching the web about a specific topic and you keep coming up, different blog articles from your site. I'm starting to view you as a thought leader on this topic, and that is planting the seed in my mind for the future. If maybe I really need some professional help with whatever it is that I'm searching, you're going to come to mind first. And then also, inbound leads tend to be warmer. If they're impressed by your content, they follow you on social media, the chances are higher that they're going to reach out to you when they're ready to buy. The cons to that, as I mentioned earlier, it takes a little bit more time to see results. It also takes a little bit more time to develop the content and optimize it. Obviously, writing blogs and white papers and doing videos and all those things, those take a lot of effort. So that is a con, but the yields that it gives you are so worthwhile. And then there's less immediate volume. And again, that goes back to taking more time to see results, but you see that long-term value. So then if we talk about outbound, pros of outbound is a little bit faster. Many SEO firms will tell you if you fix your SEO on your website, it takes about 4 to 6 months to start seeing results. Timelines for content marketing and social media marketing are very similar. You get better targeting options sometimes because instead of you being that guy at the bar that's waiting for somebody to come sit next to you and you're not really sure who that person is, if you'll relate to them, if you'll have anything in common, you are targeting people based on your choices. You're choosing the targets. So on inbound, you're kind of just relying on the individuals to find you, and you don't know very much about them when they first come in. The cons of outbound, it's a little bit more expensive, so you're paying for mailers, you're paying for airtime on the radio or TV commercials or pay-per-click ads. And that's not always easy for smaller companies, and that's where that balance of the pros the balance of inbound and outbound come in. Um, some companies want to put a lot of investment into their outbound and they put a little bit less investment into the inbound, and some companies balance a little bit more in the other direction. But your hope, no matter what, is that you can get people interested in what you're saying. So social media and blogging, those are inexpensive ways to kind of put your name out there and prove your business expertise in sort of an outbound way, but without having to spend a lot of money. And actually, well, blogging is more inbound, but social media, at least if you're trying to push a message, you can push that through social media. And then the other thing with outbound is, people can tune you out. Unfortunately, you're feeding people a message that they haven't asked for. Again, bouncing off of what Karen said earlier, if you get an email in your inbox and has nothing to do with what you care about, you're not going to read it. You're going to throw it out. You're going to put it in your junk folder. So the hope is that you're targeting the correct people with outbound, and that's part of working on the strategy of the outbound to make sure that the people you're hitting are actually interested in what you're saying. Inbound is in front of them as well, but their own curiosity is what's propelling them to make the next click.